Carol Edmister. I happen to be a native of this area. I've been in Master Gardeners since '08. And my specialty that I really enjoy doing is growing seeds. My program sort of starts with the end product. The basics of seed growing. The first thing you have to ask yourself is, why in the world do I want to take the time to grow seeds? After all, I can go to a nursery and buy almost anything, right? No. There's a tremendous variety of seeds that are out there that haven't even been touched. And you have the option of growing your own. And if you know how to do it, it's really, really easy. It just takes a little bit of patience. The end product, my hollyhocks I grew a couple years ago. These are miniature hollyhocks. They are doubles. I grew them from seed. They came up and bloomed for me beautifully the first season. Most people will tell you hollyhocks are biannuals. These weren't. They came up the first season. My favorite was the yellow one. That's why it's kind of have a prominent place on my display. And I used them in the same spot. This is by my deck, and this is also by my deck. These are the hollyhocks. The next year I did moonflowers. Has anyone ever grown moonflowers? What's so special about them?
They bloom at night and they smell wonderful.
See, I told him I didn't need this. How's that? Is that better? I'm going to take it totally off here. Okay. The moonflowers are special because they're called moonflowers because they bloom at night. They also have the wonderful fragrance. Also, I live in deer country. Who doesn't live in deer country? These things are not eaten by deer. They're not eaten by insects. Those particular ones that I grew by my deck, 10 seeds did that. 10. And this covers an area 18 by 24 feet. 10 seeds. I did grow them myself. And I'll come back to this picture, growing your seeds in a simple way. But I'll skip it for now. How can I have seeds, flowers, beautiful things that look like this? The secret is a growing rack, a seed rack, that my husband built for me about 3 years ago. And you can control all the basics, which is light, moisture, and temperature. Start with light. 2 fluorescent bulbs, cool and warm, in the same fixture. You can't use what's the other kind of light? You have to use fluorescent. You do not have to use grow lights. Just so it says warm and cool. You put them in the same fixture. And then you can turn, like this flat, you can turn them. You place the light, ideally, 2 inches above your growing seedlings. And try, as well as you can, to keep just that much space. The seed rack is easy to adjust, it's flexible, it is a wonderful use of vertical space. I live in a very modest farmhouse. The basement's kind of a mess. It's wet down there. Perfect place for seedlings. It's cool. And it's sturdy. Once you have it, you always have it. When my husband built this, I showed him the instructions. He said, "You really want this thing?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I kind of would." "You want it now?" I said, "Maybe next year." "Well, why not now?" So, bless his heart, he built the thing in 2 days because he told me the instructions were so simple. So when he built that in 2 days, I thought, boy, I better get busy and grow some seeds, which I did. The length of light is 18 hours on, 6 hours off, and you use a timer. A timer will make your life so much simpler. They're very inexpensive. You can buy them anywhere. Any big box store has a timer. Set it. Look on this side. The temperature. Some people will argue with me that you have to have it warmer than 65 degrees. My basement is not. It's cool, and I don't have any trouble. All of these pictures you see are my plants that I've grown. The location is blank because as long as you have the right temperature, the moisture, and the light, it doesn't matter where you grow it. You can have it in your bedroom if you want. You can have a little one, as long as you have fluorescent tubes to grow your seeds. The moisture needs to be damp, not wet, not dry. You need to cover your seeds when you put them in your flat. You cover them with a plastic cover. Now, really important part is once you see those seedlings start to sprout, you remove that cover. Take it off. Why? Why would you need to remove that right away? Any idea? Not necessarily, well, yeah, that's part of it. But if you leave it on there too long, they'll rot. So you need air circulation. Talk about air. There's a fan here in the background. I have the fan going all the time. Why would I have a fan going? Air circulation. A couple reasons. Cuts down on damping off, and I'll talk about that in a minute. It makes your seedling stronger. It simulates the actual wind outdoors. So you kind of get them used to movement. Also, as they're growing, you come by and just touch them. Just rub them. Say, gee, seeds, how are you doing? And you also turn them around. I don't leave these in this location. Maybe in a couple days, I'll turn them around, put them up here. Now the secret, though, is to try to always keep that light 2 inches above the growing tops. And I think you can figure out if you take a flat and you have lots of different seeds in the flat, they all grow at different rates. So you're going to have a hard time. That's the reason I have 3 tiers here. Because I'll start some seeds, maybe 2 flats, 1 week, a couple days I'll start another flat. They'll grow at different rates. Use vermiculite to deter damping off. This is my little container with vermiculite. And if you see your sample that Wilson's was so sweet to lend me, these are called plugs. And I believe this is the way you receive these, right? You receive them like this. And I see they have vermiculite on this too. It absorbs a lot of moisture and avoids damping off. Damping off is just, they rot. They rot at the soil line, they clog over. Just, yeah, your seed's done. And it makes you sick when it happens. And you can't do anything about it. Well, yes, not taking the cover off. Now, the big thing, hardening off. People say, what do you have to harden off for? That's so boring. I don't want to do that. If you do not harden off your seedlings, you will lose them. You go through this whole process of growing the seeds, and you have the first beautiful sunny day, and you go out, you plant them, over they go. They will not survive. You have to harden them off by getting them used to being outdoors gradually.